two powerful republics, two massive empires, two nations built on ideals of democracy, liberty, and dominance. But what if I told you that the United States of America is following the same path as the Roman Empire, from rise to rot, and that collapse may not be centuries away, but just decades? Let's talk about how America mirrors Rome, and why that should keep us up at night. Rome began as a republic, built on representative government and citizenship. Sound familiar? The United States was founded on those same Enlightenment ideals, but over time, Rome's republic gave way to empire, with expanding military campaigns, wealth inequality, and increasing authoritarianism. The US, too, has transformed, from 13 colonies to 50 states, from isolationism to global policing. Like Rome, America stretches its power across the world, not through legions, but with drones, naval fleets, and economic influence. But empires are expensive and historically unsustainable. As Rome expanded, so did its need for wealth, leading to heavier taxation, slave labor, and eventually inflation and economic collapse. Sound familiar? Today, America's wealth is more concentrated than ever. The richest 1% own more than the bottom 90% combined. Housing costs are out of reach, healthcare is unaffordable, wages are stagnant while corporate profits soar. Rome had bread and circuses. America has minimum wage jobs, TikTok, and a shrinking middle class. And both societies treated poverty not as a crisis to solve, but as a nuisance to ignore. Rome's military became too large, too expensive, and too detached from the people it claimed to protect. Its legions were fighting wars far from home, propping up puppet states and draining the treasury. The United States has followed suit. Korea, Vietnam, Iraq, Afghanistan. Trillions have been spent. Thousands are dead, and little to show for it but resentment abroad and veterans suffering at home. Rome fell, in part, because it couldn't afford to protect its borders and take care of its citizens. So why does the US spend more on the military than the next 10 countries combined, while 500,000 Americans sleep on the street? In its final centuries, Rome's government was gridlocked and corrupt. Emperors came and went. The Senate was a shadow of its former self. Public trust collapsed, and so did the institutions. Today, Congress is more polarized than ever. Bipartisan compromise is rare. Lobbyists write laws. Billionaires fund candidates. And Supreme Court decisions are often viewed not as justice, but political warfare. Rome rotted from within, not just from barbarian invasion. In America, the rot is in full view. Historians now argue that Rome's fall wasn't just political or economic, it was environmental too. Droughts, overfarming, and resource collapse destabilized food supply and caused mass migration. America faces similar pressures. Wildfires burn the West, hurricanes flood the South, the Mississippi River runs dry in summer, farms fail, water shortages grow. People are already fleeing certain regions. Climate refugees aren't just coming from abroad, they're coming from within. Like late Rome, America is turning to walls, fear, and nationalism to solve problems that require solidarity and compassion. But history tells us, you cannot wall off collapse. To distract the public, Rome gave them breads and circuses, food rations and entertainment. Today, we scroll endlessly, fight culture wars, and binge 10-hour Netflix shows. Politics became sport. Truth became optional. And while we're entertained, democracy is quietly eroding. History doesn't repeat necessarily, but it does rhyme. America is not doomed, but it is mirroring every symptom that Rome showed before its collapse. If we stay on this course of endless war, corporate greed, political corruption, and climate inaction, then yes, collapse is likely. But it's not too late. Rome didn't have the internet, or climate science, or millions who believe in a better future. The choice isn't between empire and ashes. It's between greed and equity, distraction and democracy. Rome didn't have a second chance. Maybe we do. But we have to stop pretending collapse can't happen. We have to ask, how can we prevent it? Thank you for joining me in bed tonight for a quick look at a loud history. If you found this perspective thought-provoking, consider subscribing to Bedtime Geography and History. Until next time, rest well, and remember, empires rise, empires fall, but people endure.